Erik Ten Hag genius move sees two Manchester United weaknesses into their greatest strengths. Exactly 12 months ago today, Manchester United registered their final away win of the 2021-22 season, beating Leeds United 4-2 at Elland Road. It was a victory that kept them fourth in the table, albeit a whopping 17 points behind leaders Manchester City at the summit. They won just 3 more matches before the curtain fell on a forgettable campaign at Selhurst Park on May 22nd. 12 months on from that rain-soaked victory in West Yorkshire, United's fortunes and the mood around the whole club could not possibly be any different. Not only did Sunday's 3-0 win over Leicester City at Old Trafford significantly tighten their grip on a top 4 spot, but it also moved them to within 5 points of league leaders Arsenal, and just 3 points behind City in second. Though some supporters are still hesitant about getting involved in title chatter, the reality is that Erik Ten Hag's men are in the title race, even if they are outsiders. They are now closer to Arsenal at the summit than they are to Tottenham Hotspur, who leapfrogged Newcastle United in the table on Sunday, in 4th. As convincing as the scoreline looked on Sunday afternoon, United, certainly in the first half, had to work hard for all 3 points. David De Gea was twice called into action, producing 2 outstanding saves to deny both Harvey Barnes and Kelechi Iheanacho, ahead of Marcus Rashford opening the scoring. After the break, however, the Reds, inspired by Jadon Sancho's introduction from the bench, had a much more composed look about themselves, dominating the game and looking as though they would score every time they got in and around the Leicester penalty area. Once Rashford netted his second of the afternoon to claim his 24th goal of the season, there was only going to be one winner. But even though Rashford's brilliance is often at the very heart of United's good fortune these days, a great deal of credit must be sent in the direction of De Gea and the defensive line in front of him. Despite Ten Hag choosing to make 3 changes to the back 4 that started against Barcelona in Spain just under 72 hours earlier, it, after weathering an early Fox's storm, was largely untroubled, dealing with everything that came its way. The win marked De Gea's and United's 10th Premier League clean sheet of the season, meaning they have already kept 2 more shutouts in the league than they managed in the whole of last season. The Reds were a defensive calamity last term, conceding 57 times in the league alone, meaning their goals conceded column of 28 this time around makes much more impressive viewing. Of the 10 clean sheets United have registered in the league this season, 6 of them have come at Old Trafford. By comparison, they only chalked up 5 clean sheets in the league on their own patch in the whole of last season. United's much improved defensive standards under Ten Hag has meant that their home form has significantly benefited. As a result, the win over Leicester marked the Reds' 9th home win in 12 league outings this season, taking their tally of points won in M16 to 29. Only City have racked up more on their own patch this term. By comparison, United won just 10 of their 19 home league games last season, meaning they collected just 35 points. With another 7 home games still to play, United, with the way they have turned Old Trafford back into one of the most feared grounds to visit on the Premier League circuit, should smash through that barrier with ease. Not only have United been much more efficient in getting the job done at home this season, they have also been much harder to score against. They have the joint best home defensive record in the Premier League this term, conceding just 8 goals along with Chelsea and Newcastle United. They shipped 22 goals at home last season. Considering United have not been prolific scorers this term, they have had to ensure their back 4 has been strong and reliable. They have become well organized, hard to beat and, for the most part, defensively sound, highlighted by the fact only Newcastle have kept more clean sheets in the league this term. Working hand in hand with their impressive defensive record, United's ability to have turned Old Trafford back into a fortress has resulted in them being able to make significant progress in a very short space of time under Ten Hag. He has corrected 2 major flaws and used them as the bedrock of the club's resurrection. In other news, Erik Ten Hag has found his next Manchester United captain. Erik Ten Hag has got most of the big decisions right since he arrived at Manchester United, and it looks like he is already on course to get the next one spot on too. Harry Maguire was never formally removed of the captain's armband last summer and even started the first 2 matches of the season before the drastic change was needed. United have been a completely different side since that defeat at Brentford. So much emphasis is put on the fact that Casemiro was signed after it, but just as important was the switch to make Bruno Fernandes the captain. The Portuguese has embraced the extra responsibility placed on his shoulders, not only leading by example on the pitch, but by selflessly sacrificing himself for the greater good of the team. It is even more remarkable when you consider that Fernandes is not the archetypal Ten Hag midfielder either. The United manager has worked hard to implement a controlled style of play with an emphasis on ball retention and being sensible in possession, 2 things Fernandes has not always shown. It was only natural that United United would lose some authority in the middle of the park without both Casemiro and Christian Eriksen against Leicester, but it is credit to Fernandes that he helped make it work, even after another messy makeshift midfield showing in the first half. Fred was certainly more of a piano carrier than a player on Sunday, struggling with his distribution throughout and struggling to offer any defensive stability alongside the attack-minded Marcel Sabitzer. Wout Weghorst was asked to adopt the free role he had against Barcelona in midweek, often dropping back to muck in with the defensive work, which left United light in attack. All of this meant that the greatest creative outlet, Fernandes, was repurposed onto the right wing again, sacrificing himself for the greater good of the team. It is credit to the Portuguese that he doesn't resent such a role, instead going about his business on the right with the same commitment as he does through the middle, though it must be so frustrating for him to play knowing he could have a greater impact on the team. In the first half against Leicester, he was at his effortless best. While there were moments of frustration, as ever with some of his decision-making, Fernandes was at the heart of everything United did well. It was the 28-year-old who so nonchalantly carved open the Leicester defense with the outside of his boot to set up Marcus Rashford the opener, and he would have had another assist had Diogo Dalot not poked wide from 6 yards after a brilliant ball from his compatriot. Fernandes' performance on the right was so impressive that even after the introduction of Jadon Sancho at halftime, it was he who occupied the flank, with Sancho playing just behind Weghorst through the middle. This gave United a new impetus in the game, and it was crucial in their frantic start to the second half when they scored twice to end the game and any hopes of a comeback. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to smash the like button and make sure to subscribe to Man United Hub to get all the latest updates.